Now it's time for your Melanin moment.
Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, and it is time for a Melanin moment. This is actually the first Melanin moment of February, and I promised myself that I was going to be on my best when it came to bringing Melanin moments for the month of February, because this is actually my favorite month of the year. It's also the month of my birthday. I call it FEB3, and on February 3rd, I turned 40 years old. I'm so grateful, thankful, and blessed to have reached this milestone in my life. You guys have no idea the battles that I've had to fight with the devil about birthdays. It started when I was 29 years old and I was turning 30, and it kind of was very, very bittersweet because my parents died when they were 29, which is what I want to bring to my Melanin moment of the day. But the devil told me that I would not live to see 30 years old. I would not live to see 40, and I just thank God that his word is true and the devil is a liar. And I'm so blessed. I'm so thankful. Even though things are not the way that I want them to be, I thank God that they are not what they could have or should have been, considering all of the mess that I got myself in and out of. I thank God for life and life abundantly. I want to bring you guys this Melanin moment because it is going to share with you guys just a little piece of my testimony. And I love the song by PJ Morton, Leandria, and Mary Berry, All in This Plan, because a portion of the song says that there cannot be a testimony unless you go through a test. And tests don't have ages on them, just so you know. You can go through a test at any point in time in your life, as long as you know that God is right there with you, holding your hand and leading and guiding you every step of the way. That testimony will bless someone, and I hope and I pray that this blesses someone to let you know that God has the final say so. It is not public knowledge, but a lot of people do know, and I think I only shared this testimony one time in my life. My parents died at the age of 29 in May and August, respectively, because of acquired immune deficiency syndrome. They did not know that they were sick. A lot of people decided that they wanted to make fun of us. They wanted to talk about us because they assumed their own little things about how my parents passed away. And they would say little things to their children like stay away from the little AIDS babies, and don't play with them, don't breathe in the same air. We talk about the 80s, y'all, and a lot of people were very, very deathly afraid of AIDS, HIV and AIDS. And that is a part of the testimony that I want to share, because my parents actually, the crazy part is that when people actually found out how my parents passed away and how they contracted the AIDS virus, a lot of them were very, very, very remorseful with the things that they were saying. But you don't put your mouth on people and you don't speak on people, especially when you don't know what you're talking about. My parents met at Shaw University in North Carolina. Both of them went to school there. I don't know what exact year it was, but my father was involved in an accident with a semi that caused his brain to bleed, and they had to do emergency surgery. So when they did emergency surgery, my father basically went back into a vegetative state. So he had to learn how to walk again, talk again, and do all the things that we do every single day that we need to stop taking for granted. My mom was there with him every step of the way, along with my godmother and another one of their friends. They basically, nursed him back to health along with the nursing staff. So after they graduated, my mom and my dad got married, of course. They had 3 beautiful children, me, Brittany, and Catherine. And this was 82, 85, and 87. In 88, my father got sick. His mom took him back to Florida. I'm assuming that's another part of the testimony that I'll share in a whole nother later date. But knowing what he had and knowing that he didn't have long, he passed away in May as soon as he basically found out that he was sick, and he could no longer basically go on. So we buried him in May in Florida. As soon as we got back, according to my aunt, which is my mother's sister, I was 7 years old at the time, so I have to get this information from people that were actually there. Not he said, she said, people that were actually there. My aunts began to tell me that my mom began to get sick and she wasn't feeling well, and they would run all these tests and they were trying to figure out, like, why is Angie sick? And then they said, let me run one more test. Like I said, this is AIDS, this is new, this is stuff that people are scared of. And when they ran this test, unfortunately, it came back that my mom had AIDS. As soon as my mom found out that she was sick, it was like the light switch kicked on. I mean, she began to, my mom was already small, but she began to lose weight drastically. I do know that there's a picture with her sitting in our den in Alabama, and you could see the bone in her face. Now, like I said, my mom was small, but it kind of reminded me of a skeleton type. And she began to fade really, really quickly. On August 8th, I believe, not exactly sure about the date, but I do have her obituary. That is when my mom passed away. Before she passed away, she told her mom that she wanted her to raise us, her mom and her father. She gave her mom and her dad guardianship of her children, which scared my grandmother. And I'm pretty sure that my grandmother, being a woman of faith, was praying and saying, God, you gave me these kids, and so I don't want to have to bury not only my son-in-law, my daughter, but my 3 grandchildren. Considering the fact that my mom and my dad had this virus before we were even born. And so for years, we were tested. 4 years we were tested. I cannot remember not going to the doctor. I cannot remember not giving blood. But I do remember one particular visit we went, and the doctor told my grandmother, I don't know what to tell you other than there's nothing wrong with these children. I mean, I don't know how else to get blood, where else to get it from. We get it from their finger, we get it from their arm, we stick them in the leg. I mean, there's nothing there. And as he began to tell my grandmother that there's no explanation for how and why we have not, AIDS hasn't shown up in our system. She said, I can tell you exactly why you don't see what you think that you're supposed to see. And that's because God did it. And I want to share that with somebody because I know that's personal. And a lot of times people are like, oh my God, you sharing this, because your testimony will help somebody. Somebody is off in a worse space than you are. And you have to remind them through your testimony and the faith that you had, the faith that my grandmother had, that it does not matter what is going on, God did it. God can do the impossible. God can do above and beyond. We just have to give it to Him. Now, this virus that killed both of my parents, this virus that probably has taken over many, I probably can't even count that high. This virus, this disease that people are living with and taking medicine that is trying to make sure that they have the right blood in their system or the right cell count. Both of my parents had this, and neither one of us have had it. You got to think about it. I'm 40 years old. My sister is 37. My other sister's going to be 35. 2 of us have had children. I've had brain surgery. We go to the doctor regularly for our checkups. My other sister just had a surgery. I think that if we would have had something, it would have showed up by now. But I'm so thankful and I'm so grateful to God that He has the final say so. And so I'm sharing it with those of us who are in a space where we think that we just don't know, like, which way to turn, which way to go. The doctor can't tell you what's wrong with you. You still trying to figure it out. God did it. God did it for me. God did it for my sisters. And God will do it for you. So that's the Melanin moment that I got for today, y'all. I know that's heavy. I know a lot of people, I ain't shared that except for one time when I got ready to sing a song. I'm pretty sure my sisters have not ever shared it anywhere. But I wanted to share that because that is God saying, death, behave. Can't have them. I got plans. Got stuff I need them to do. And when God says yes, it don't matter who say no, because God got the final say so. But I hope and pray that blesses you all. Do what's necessary to keep yourself safe out here in these streets, you guys. I love you and I'm praying for you, and I hope and pray that you're praying for me. And I will see you guys soon for another Melanin Moment.